Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be here. Happy New Year. It's been a crazy New Year for so many reasons. I could get into that later on, but let's get into the DIYs, the reason for this video. So the first one is it's going to be 3 different DIYs, but 2 of them are kind of similar. You'll see what I'm talking about. The first one is going to be restoring this picture frame. I got it at an antique store, and I absolutely loved it. The only thing I didn't like was the fact that some of the filigree that you see on here was missing. I don't know why, but I still love it. I'll show you some pictures of the filigree that I think belong to it later on. I was hoping to use some clay to redo this because I don't have a huge budget to be able to like go out and get all the really fancy stuff or anything like that. So we'll see how this goes, and hopefully I could inspire you to possibly do the same and make it an amazing trip. Okay, you guys, as you can tell, it is night. I know I was going to do everything right away, but due to having a toddler, it's not easy to do that. So she's asleep, and so we're going to go ahead and start. So what we're going to use is I'm going to be using a Crayola air dry clay and this mold. So I'm going to have it attached below the link to Amazon because that's where I got it. And these were the original, I think that these were attached, the pictures attached are what the filigrees used to look like. Now I couldn't find those filigrees, so I went on ahead and just ordered these, and I think that these actually are going to look pretty good with it. It's gonna hopefully cover well enough these parts and just give it that that vintage style again. So that's what I'm hoping. So let me show you what we're gonna do. Use a little bit of vegetable oil and put it on here. The reason for that is I'm just going to use a dab of the vegetable oil and apply it just right in here, so that way when I put the clay in there, it's not going to stick. I did this before. I know it's going to work because I did this before with a previous DIY in a Christmas, for like Christmas ornaments, and it worked out really well. So all right, now that that's filled, I'm gonna go on ahead and take these out. It's actually really not that hard to take them out. And place them right in here. Actually, these are bigger than what I was expecting, which isn't the worst thing. So I'm not gonna really push too much on it, just because honestly this is literally just gonna sit here, and I want it to air dry like that, so that way when it's completely dry, all I have to do is glue it in there. Now once this dries a little bit more, it's just gonna shrink up a little bit, and it's just gonna be molded right onto there. So all I'm gonna do is just put some crazy glue, or I have the Gorilla Glue, like super glue, and I'll just glue that on there, but I'm gonna paint it all first to make sure everything looks great, because I don't want to like glue it on then still have to paint. Once I have this part done, I'm gonna go ahead and finish all 4 corners. And now that the finials are done, filigree. Now that the filigree is all dry, we're gonna go on ahead and spray paint it a gold color, because I want it to match the picture frame. So I put it in this box, and I'm gonna use this Rust-Oleum color to it and see how well that works. I really hope it does, because if I have the right color right away, we're in good shape. Second coat of the paint for these is completely dry. I think it looks really great. The only problem is it's not exactly the color that I want for it. I want it to look more like the frame. It's really close, so what I'm going to try to use is the pure gold metallic paint and see how that works. It seems like it might work, but let's check that out. Oh, that might not be too bad. Let's try the royal gold as well. See? You never know how it's gonna look, so you might as well just give it a shot. Oh, a little bit off. Yeah, that's not exactly it. So I was adding an antique wax here to try to make it look like the rest of the decorations, and it actually didn't turn out too bad. So the reason why I'm using opening up the top of this is because I found out as I was trying to use the glue that the top is completely blocked. So I cannot, unless I take a pin or something like that and try to take out some of this glue, which I don't want to do. I'm just going to open the top of it and we will work from there. And I'm using painter's tape because it's not gonna take off any of the paint that's already on there. It's literally just, you put it down and then when it's done, you just take it up and and the work that you've done is completely safe. Just so you know, you won't see the results for these, for all the DIYs until the very end of the video, so just stick around. So this is the second DIY. It's 2-in-1, as I said. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to do one of those terracotta pots, or there are multiple different places that have them. Some of them is Anthropology. You can get them from Hobby Lobby and everything. However, I figured that you can see what I'm going to be doing. I figured that I would be doing my own because it's one, cheaper, and two, it's a lot more fun. So what we're going to go ahead and do is, first of all, I'm going to do this pot, this vase. There you go, if I could actually get the right word. I'm going to use this vase that I actually got from the Dollar General. Really cheap, I think it was about $5. And I saw some people using this dry deck spackling, and I want to use some texture. I have, as you'll see in these in the pictures that I've attached, some vases that I did with just that I did with the paint and then baking soda, and so I'm going to use that too. But right now what we're going to do is just add some textures to make it look like it's more clay. So let's get started. There's no particular way on how I'm adding the spackle. I literally just want to coat this so it looks more like clay. Okay, you guys, the second layer is done. I'm gonna go on ahead and let it sit and dry, and once it's dry, we can go on ahead and start spray painting it or painting it. Probably spray painting. I have a really nice brand of spray paint that I would like to use. So I will get back to you in a little bit. So the spackling has been dried, and as you can tell, there's a lot of texture to it. I just sanded it down a little bit just because there were a lot of pieces that were kind of coming up and it didn't look exactly clay, but there's a lot of texture now. It's been sanded a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it. So what I'm using is Rust-Oleum. It's like it's a very matte finish, so I'm going to go ahead and start spraying it, and honestly, if it doesn't turn out the way I want it, I could just add more paint. So all the painting, well, all the undercoat is done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Waverly chalk paint. I'm going to use a few of the different ones. Ivory, there's going to be truffle, and then cashew. So I'm going to start with an undercoat, bring it down a little bit. You'll see that there's a few spots over here that that the paint came off a little bit, but that's okay because you know what? It's supposed to be like a clay vase, so we're going to go with it. And I got some baking soda so that way we can make it a thicker consistency. For anybody looking for measurements for the baking soda to paint measurements, I have no idea. I was just eyeing it, so if you're doing this, just go for it. So the pot that I have right here is the kind that I'm trying to get this to kind of look like. I don't have the money for a $140 vase, so I'm just gonna make my own. And also the paper towel that I'm using, at first I was using a dry one, however, the consistency wasn't coming out, it wasn't blending very well, so I went on ahead and applied a little bit of water so that way all the paint can blend together. It turned out really well. As you can see, all I'm literally doing is just blotting the paint everywhere. I didn't want to use a paintbrush, just blot it. And if there's too much paint on the paper towel, just go ahead and take some of it off and and blot the sides of the container and remove some of the paint that way. Okay, you guys, this is going to be the final DIY. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be turning this vase into a vase with handles. And I'm going to, instead of just use clay on it, I'm going to use clay for the handles. However, I'm going to secure it, make it more structurally sound with this hanger. You know, everybody has like those hangers whenever they go to the dry cleaner. So we're going to be using this. So let's get right on into it. So all I'm going to do before I get to this is take this apart so we could actually get to the metal part. I'm going to untwist this. And I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know how big it's supposed to be, but we will see. All I did here was once I bent the one wire for the handle, I just used it as a template for the other one, and so I could get the even size for it. Okay, you guys. Now that the handles are cut out, I tried to get it the best I could. So hopefully it's going to be amazing. We shall see. So what I'm going to be using is a Sculpey clay. As you can see, I've used this before. And I'm going to shape it around these, and then I'm going to put it in the oven so it could dry faster. And so I could actually, so once it's dry faster, I'm going to go ahead and glue the handles on here, and I'll show you how that's done. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I don't think I'm going to roll out the clay that much just because it's going to be twisted around here anyway. Wrap it around the wire. Okay, you guys, I got both arms finished. I actually had to take about an inch off of both sides. Oh, there you go. An inch off of both sides because they were kind of sticking out a lot. So right now what I have is I have this. They're going to kind of be off of here. I don't think it's going to be too big for it. But all I'm going to do is, now that I have both of the arms like the clay on both arms, I'm going to go ahead and pop the arms into the oven, and I'll get back to you once those are cooled. So the handles are all dry and baked and cooled, so it is time to put them on. So we are going to use clear Gorilla Glue and painter's tape, and hopefully this is going to stick on here and we won't have any problems. Get some of this excess off because we do not need all this. Put it over on this side. Yay for having random paper around. Guys, now that that side's done, I'm gonna go ahead and work on this side. So the super glue is completely dried on here, but I think that let me take this off, because I have a feeling that when I take this off, there's gonna be some areas on the handles that are gonna be kind of up. Let me see. Yeah. And I don't want to I want everything to be kind of cohesive. Ooh. Okay. So So what I'm gonna have to do for this, once I have all the tape off, is I'm gonna put some air dry clay on it. Oh, that one's not too bad at all. Okay, so this side actually looks pretty good. I'm really excited about this one. This one looks, well, not. The bottom doesn't look bad, or the bottom doesn't look that bad at all. It's actually pretty on top. It's just it's pretty adhered to here. The only thing is I don't like up here. So what I'm gonna end up, oh, even over on this side, I'm noticing that it's kind of up. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just put the Crayola air dry clay on here, so that way I could make it blend into the surface a little bit. Because even when I put the spackle on here, it's gonna be thin enough so you could tell that it's not really adhered. So let me go ahead and do that. All right, guys, it's all on there. Now I just have to wait for the air dry clay to dry, and I could go on ahead and start putting on the next coat, which is the plaster. So after sanding this and painting it, I spray painted it outside. I figured that you guys didn't want to see that since you saw it on the other vase. I went on ahead and brought it inside, and now I'm going to go on ahead and start painting this. Hopefully, I have a picture on here of what the kind of direction that I want to go with this. So we'll see how well that goes. So let's start. I'm using basically the same paints I was using on the other base. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed watching me do all these DIYs. It was a lot of fun, and there were just so many times that I was just like, oh crap, what do I do? If you had any motivation or inspiration from this, that's amazing. I'm so happy that I could help you out with that. Right here is where my picture is gonna go. I have that the print in it's from Etsy, and it's in the link below. And the larger vase, with the plant in it, that's going to stay exactly right where it is. I still have yet to figure out exactly where the other one's going to go, but you will see that in a later decorate with me as I go throughout my whole house and make sure that it's all up to date for the winter and the new year. And I still have a Valentine's Day decorate with me that will be coming soon, so I hope that I will see you soon and you have a wonderful day.